All right, Chase. Happy Wednesday to you, my friend. It is the 15th of July, 2026. This is episode 478. It's a deep dive. We do this once a month where we pick from things like hardware, we pick things like list, show and tells, all kinds of crazy shit. We do all of those things once a month on a deep dive format. And this month, you had the brilliant idea of to revisit a list.
Yeah, it's our 10th anniversary. We've talked about that, like not to the day, but the Casual Hour has turned 10 this year. And I thought it would be a good idea to go back and see what things were like 10 years ago. Bobby, would you like to go back 10 years in the past?
Only if I don't have to relive the last 10 years. Well, I shouldn't say that. The last 10 years have been great. I got married in 2015, so it's been nice to have that companionship, but certainly a lot of we've grown closer for sure, you and I, companionship.
Sure.
Those things, I think my family's like having nieces and nephews, like all that stuff's great. But there's certainly been a lot of things that felt better.
You know what, in like July of 2016, that was a pre-Trump presidency. The phrase President Trump could only be said with a little laughter. Like, that'll never happen. It was pre-COVID. It was a better time in a lot of ways.
The games industry was certainly in a much more hopeful state than it is today.
That's true. There were a lot more people making games at that point.
But I'll tell you, that year maybe more so 2017, I think. Things did not go great after some key decisions were made in games there. And what's really wild to think about, and I think assuredly won't pop up too much for our conversations tonight, but there's only been like a handful of games that people have collectively played consistently. And last year, even some of the most played games are like 10 years old still, which is really wild to see and like kind of look back at that. And that was really my test on some of the things we're going to do tonight is like, is there anything on here I would still play or could play? Or, I thought about that a lot because I thought that would certainly I certainly wouldn't like this more than this, but am I still playing this more than that? Like those are things I thought about for sure.
And that was the idea here is that, yes, it's been 10 years and, we can reference all the things that happened 10 years ago and all the things that have happened between then and now. But I wanted us specifically to take a look at our top 10 lists and our Game of the Year discussion that we had in 2016 live at Cicis Pizza, I believe is what you said.
I think our first one was there, and this would have been our first one. Yeah, because we certainly wouldn't have added anybody a fourth chair to when we introduced like a proper episode with categories and whatnot, because this one was just like we're just talking about our top 10s.
Yes,
and having that conversation.
Right. Now I'm still a little fuzzy. I think it's possible Cicis was in 2017, but I'm going to trust Bobby on this one. But also, we can't find my top 10 list. I don't know why. I don't know why my top 10 list has been lost to time. I have found other lists that I have made in 2016, so we can at least have something to go off of. We're not going to use Johnny's list. Johnny was a part of the Casual Hour 10 years ago, and we have a list for him, but he's not here.
It wasn't good then. It's not good now.
But we also have the collective top 3 for the Casual Hour. So I just thought it might be a good idea to both revisit our old lists and see what we said then, and then do a bit of a, hindsight's 2020, a little bit of Game of the Year rewind. We're different people now. We've probably played some other video games from the year 2016 in the time since. If you could go back, would you still pick all the same games and would you still put them all in the same order? So I thought that might be a fun thing to do to kind of reference our 10-year and talk about some games that we don't always talk. Well, I was going to say games that we don't always talk about, but I'm looking at some games on my list and I go, maybe some people on this podcast are still living in 2016.
I think that you've been stuck in a version of the 2000s more so than I have, but Gaming wise, yes, I will certainly probably. I